proper channel of the crude oil going through, and these has created, a lot. Unspecified numbers of persons are feared being dead after a crude oil tapping point in Rumakpe community in Enuola, local government area of the River State, exploded at the early hours of this morning. Just similar to what I was saying, earlier when I was coming on, with the situation when it comes to the community that I was discussing in Colombia. What could lead to where people, we do know that there's illegal mining, there's illegal crude oil, but it seems that we've lost again ordinary individuals that probably should not have died this morning, but for the negligence of the system. Who are those behind it? We do know that, when it comes to tapping of the crude oil pipeline, this is not, a man selling pepper on the side road. These are very professionals. And when I say professionals, sometimes they have international hands in it as well.
Wow. Have international hands in it. And apparently the country is losing or hemorrhaging out of about $4 billion dollars a year from that cycling. But again, someone will tell you that if the people, the indigenous people in that particular part of the world are not seeing anything that is happening, again, the cycling, you think how much do the indigenous get? It's all to do with all these big groups, whether they are international bodies or who are making those money back. Well, what do you think about all that? So come your way from Starr Radio UK. Now, after the pronouncement of Tinubu as the president, we were expecting that, well, by this time, as the APC were saying, or the presidential, whatever, they had a team who were calling on Atiku and Bijori to congratulate or concede so that peace will come. But what we have the Bijori saying that that's the apologies. Bijori on Thursday, Matthew said he won the contest. And he also vowed to reclaim his mandate through legal and peaceful means. Now, all became third in the election result released by the Independent National Electoral Commission. But addressing journalists in Abuja yesterday, the former Anambra State governor said he will prove he won the election. We will explore all legal and peaceful options to reclaim our mandate. We won the election and we will put it into Nigerians, Obi said. Now, which kind of court is it going to prove that election?
Well, they will have to go to the tribunal court. Each election in Nigeria also have, tribunals set up because of cases like, what Peter Obi was discussing. I was following not just Peter Obi. Peter Obi spoke before Atiku. Atiku actually spoke after Peter Obi. And, part of what both of them were discussing is, again, that they are not conceding defeat. And when you don't concede defeat, that literally means that you would then have to go to the court. Yesterday, remember that we were looking at Chidi. Chidi was saying that, juju court is what we have in Nigeria. We don't have a court where you can actually get your mandate back. But we shouldn't we shouldn't throw everything out of the mud yet, because we don't know. We don't know whether what is going to happen. Maybe prophecies, because some have been saying some prophecies. We believe in so much prophecy in Nigeria. But what are the communities saying? What are the social cultural groups saying? And this is the point. I was listening to the Ohaise Indigo, which is similar to Afenifere. Remember that the Afenifere actually spoke, and part of what they spoke about was that should Peter Obi not be given the opportunity of becoming the Nigerian president, then everybody should forget about Nigeria unity. That is the same message coming from the Ohaise Indigo. Even up to the point when they were asked, should Tinubu be, swearing on the May 29th, he was very clear in his words, which I'm going to get the audio before the end of the program, that should that happen, we should all forget about Nigeria. Would that mean that they're going to be pulling out of Nigeria and endorsing, the Biafra that they probably did not support in the first place? Would the Afenifere will be endorsing the Yoruba nation that they probably support, but not, to the extent of, moving out of Nigeria? So, and what the Ohaise are saying, that it seems that INEC really want Nigeria to break up. But again, Peter Obi and Atiku will be heading to the court. The presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and his Labour Party counterpart, Peter Obi, have both refused to concede defeat in the 25th presidential election that took place. And we should probably get a bit of the soundtrack from what both of them said yesterday. And this is exactly, the response from Atiku during the interview. Then we go back to Peter Obi as well.
Would appear to confirm earlier presentation that he will draw votes from you. Looking at the outcome of the election with the benefit of hindsight, do you regret the fact that you could not work together under a single platform? And secondly, I'm also wondering about your thoughts on the perception that the PDP seems to be in trouble today because of your insistence on contesting election at a time there was a clamor for a southern presidential candidate. What do you have to say, sir?
Let's listen to him. That's Atiku response.
We're taking the very last question. Yes.
Let's move that forward. This is the response from Atiku.
Would not make him a president.
I think that let's move a little bit back.
On the presidential candidates to respond accordingly. Thank you.
Well, first and foremost, about the Labour Party, whether at the time Peter decided to leave PDP and join Labour Party, we had not, I believe, begun our primary process. So the question of whether he was going to get a ticket or not, did not arise. Yes, agreed, that is a fact. He took our votes from the southeast and south-south. And that, of course, would not make him a president.
Well, so that is a bit of a response. Now, let's hear a little bit from Peter Obi as well in one of the interviews that he granted as well yesterday. This is Peter Obi, and it was very emotional. He was almost crying, but I could see a little bit of water. But it seems, the APC have told him you have to go to the court. Let's listen to it.
The election that we just witnessed have been conducted and results announced as programmed. It is a clear declaration from electoral rules and guidelines as we were promised. This election did not meet the minimum standard expected of a free, transparent, credible, fair election. It will go down as one of the most controversial elections ever conducted in Nigeria. The good and hardworking people of Nigeria have again been robbed by our supposed leaders whom they trusted. However, let me humbly and most respectfully appeal to all Nigerians to remain peaceful, law-abiding, and conduct themselves in most responsible manner.
And that is Peter Obi, and I can confirm that, as Peter Obi was saying there, one of the most controversial elections in the history of Nigeria, I can confirm that someone has committed suicide just because of this election. A young boy at the age of 19 that believed that Peter Obi should have been the president. May so rest in peace.
Oh, wow, that is a sad one. That is a sad one. Was he having any mental ailment of a sort? What exactly took place for him to? Because he's not somebody who, like a business, big book who has got lots of money and invested in that campaign or that the whole process and said, "Oh, I've lost big time." So why did the person?
Well, according to the report, a young boy from Plateau State commits suicide and died after Peter Obi election was rigged. The 19-year-old boy left a short note behind which reads, "No hope for Nigeria for the next 20 years after Obi lost the election. I'd rather end it now than to live in a hell called Nigeria. The small boy was part of the people that protested in the sun and rain to market Peter Obi, but got disappointed by the INEC that rigged the election in favor of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So rest in peace, and we don't know his health condition before he committed suicide.
Wow. Listeners, it's Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station. And as it's Brother Sarek, so good morning, brothers. Koikimedia, and good morning to you, Mr. Archie, with the rest of the team. Good morning to you, Aziz, as well. Good afternoon, everyone here, and special greetings to Mr. Archie and White Lion. We salute you. I hope you're all doing very, very well. It is Starr Radio UK, updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi in our non-London cities. Now, Yomi, the Supreme Court has ruled, given a ruling on the Naira. Do you have any facts to that?
I'm going to have a look at that in just about a few minutes, because I was actually going to go straight again to Tunisia, where Nigerians and others.
Let's go to Tunisia first.
Yes, from the report and the headline that I have here, Nigerians and others have been attacked, in Tunisia after the president's side called blacks criminals, black African criminals. Tunisia president claimed their president was a source of violence and unacceptable act. I mean, imagine, an African president also, putting blame on other African, and this will also mean a reaction. Several Nigerians as well as their Ivorians have fled their homes in Tunisia in the face of the sanction attack, taking refuge on the premises of the country's embassy. They were attacked by Tunisian nationals as President Kais Saied continued to deepen discrimination, unfair prejudice against dark-skinned people from Africa. Mr. Saied recently announced the sub-Saharan migrant were on a mission to weaken the country's Islamic Arab identity, and the presence in the country has to end. There is a criminal plan to change the composition of the demographic landscape in Tunisia, and some individuals have received large sum of money to give residence to sub-Saharan migrants, he said in the statement. A very, very, issue that we're going to be discussing more, probably maybe, on Niger Voices. How do Africans, whether, the Ghana that was chased away in Nigeria in the 80s, how do we respond to all these issues in the 21st century? As I speak to you right now, Nigerians are calling us almost every day. They are being taken away, and sometimes they are being killed in Benghazi, in Libya. We know what has happened in Libya after the after the death of Gaddafi, and the situation that end up to what it is right now. But the question is, is it possible that in today that a prime minister in an African country is now saying enough of those that are also Africans, because they are changing the demographic situation in there. So we're going to come back again in that, but now let me go straight with the Supreme Court delivered judgment on the Naira redesign. From what we have, a 7-member panel of the Supreme Court on 22 February had the Naira redesign suit and adjourned till today for judgment. The Supreme Court is set to deliver on the suit filed by some state government to challenge the federal government Naira redesign policy. We do know that, El-Rufai have said it clearly, when Tinubu becomes the president, that will be changing, but Tinubu still have up to the May to take the baton from President Muhammadu Buhari. So whatever decision is still going to be taking place right now, President Muhammadu Buhari still remain the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Members of the panel that were led by John Okoro are expected to file in the courtroom this morning. The controversial monetary policy being challenged at the Supreme Court had last year introduced. But as I speak to you right now, there is no update yet, on that. But definitely, we might probably be getting an update, if time permits, before the end of this program. If otherwise, I will be giving you the update on Monday when we come back. But as I speak to you right now, yes, the Supreme Court on the old Naira note judgment is expected on the CBN new design. So we'll have to wait for that judgment before we can, decide whether there will be any changes. But a lot of Nigerians have faced so much in terms of difficulties assessing what President Muhammadu Buhari believes is the right thing to do, changing the Naira note just prior before the election.
Well, listen, there's quite an interesting twist there, but we'll be telling you more. As Yomi said, we'll be monitoring as and when we get any feed from the courts. We'll be bringing that information your way. But if you have anything, you can also bring it. Olakunle says, we'll be here to see how the whole INEC drama plays out. And he says, just this morning, I used 1,000 naira to get 4,000 naira new notes. Wow. From POS, Nigeria is the hell we all are talking about. Wow. So, I don't get it, you know. You make the money scarce and people have to have, buy the new Naira notes with lots of the old Naira. Doesn't make sense at all, young.
Well, Nigerians have always been making use of the POS. The only difference now is that the POS doesn't have enough of the new Naira note, and that literally is why, inflation has come up on the POS. POS, for those that doesn't understand, is just a point of, sales where you can go there with your bank card, the money deducted from your bank and you get the note, but you pay a little bit. But it seems that Nigerians have been paying more to access the new Naira note. So it has always been using money to buy money, So, I do know we have the same system at some point. When I came to the country, where you have to, the bank has to charge you on the ATM until, that was cancelled. But there's still some airport and there's still some ATM that you have to pay about £1.50 should you really need that money. But most banks here in UK, is it free. So, and there's no point of sales where you have to go to a nearby corner shop and then give them your bank card and then, and then you get money out of there. But, as it is in Nigeria, not that the Nigeria has not done very well in the banking system, because in terms of the security around the banking system is much better than here in UK. But the problem is investment has not been put into almost all the 774 local government to be able to have what they call the ATM rather than the POS. But Naira has always been bought. The only difference now is you are paying more when it comes to getting this new one that is not available and has become more scarcity across the country.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, 11:35 the time. I'll go back to Yomi for you to review the rest of the stories making the rounds. Go back to you, Yomi. Thank
you so much. As you're announcing the situation in the river, we pray for the family of those that have been affected this morning. And likewise, as we've been saying, we hope the federal government of Nigeria will be looking into the issues of Nigerians being called, all kind of names and being attacked as well. INEC certificate only credential, Tinubu. INEC certificate only credential Tinubu ever obtained. Charlie Boy, in that headline that is coming as well. 6 states asked Supreme Court to nullify Tinubu's victory over this 2023. So it seems that there's still more problem ahead. The presidential poll that produced Bola Tinubu has been questioned at the Supreme Court by 6 states. What are the states? Definitely states that are linked to PDP, definitely. And these are the states: Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, and Sokoto have all filed a suit before the Supreme Court against the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. It is when it favors them, that is when they rush to the court. But when it doesn't favor Nigerians, they are not talking, because Nnamdi Kanu, like we always use him as our example, is still being held, incommunicado. Yesterday his legal team, made a courtesy visit again to him. But the question is, if all these 6 state governors have actually backed Nnamdi Kanu, maybe today it would have been a different thing. But this is their own now, and they are running straight to the court to get a judgment. Was not in compliance with the Electoral Act and the nationwide failure to electronically transmit results from the polling unit runs foul of multiple provisions of the electoral law. The governors of the 6 states are all members of the PDP, definitely, whose candidate Atiku Abubakar scored 6.9 to become running up to President-elect Bola Tinubu, who pulled almost 8 million in the graph that we'll continue to show you, each time before, today. But again, we will have to wait, and everybody will have to wait to see what the outcome is going to be like again. Voters Awareness Initiative says 2023 presidential election peaceful and credible. More Nigerians are now preparing for the next week Saturday governorship election, and the campaign on the Twitter by those that lost out, especially the Labour, are saying we must take almost all the state, and they're encouraging people to come out to vote. Again, as we speak, we talked about the 109 billion fraud case has been adjourned. Trial of the suspended AGF. Court transfer Kenwood actress criminal case as well is coming from the headline. And then we take one or two more, and then we go straight to the social media. Once again, we're monitoring the situation in Rivers State that has led to the death of so many Nigerians this morning by those that are doing what they call illegal bunkering. Illegal bunkering is something that happens a lot in Nigeria, but it is not done by ordinary Nigerians. It has always been done by those that knows where the pipeline is in the first place. And remember that in Lagos State, we've seen explosion as well happening in the past because of these illegal, bunkering that has created havoc, because those that are doing such never consider the community in the first place. So once again, the rest of the headline that we have, Obi could not have won presidential election, according to Peter Atiku. Atiku believes that yes, Obi took part of their vote, in this election, but yet he would not have win should election has gone according to what it's meant to be. We talked about the explosion, and then we go straight to the social media. Yesterday was the birthday where we almost didn't remember, but no, sorry, today, not yesterday. Well, yesterday, I believe. Buhari salute Adeboye at 81. President Muhammadu Buhari said he remains grateful for the friendliness and the wise counsels of the RCC General Overseer for many years. President Muhammadu Buhari has joined leaders and members of the Redeemed Christian Church of God in celebrating the General Overseer of the the General Overseer Enoch Adeboye as they celebrate his 81st birthday. And as we see from here as well on Starr Radio UK, mostly called Daddy. Happy birthday to you from Starr Radio UK. Once again, 11:40, so we're going to go straight to the social media and look at what is trending, as a lot of Nigerians are still reacting to the current situation in terms of these elections. So the election is the most talked about on the social media. As usual, the Biafra are trending, more push, more campaign. They are still going to be sitting down at home. Okay, I think the breaking news is coming right now from the Apex Court, also nullified the federal government Naira redesign policy, declaring it as the affront to the 1999 Constitution. So the breaking news, the court as of today has ordered that the old 200, 500 and the 1,000 Naira notes remain in circulation till the end of this year. So that's the breaking news that is coming right now on the Starr Radio UK. So this is what the old Naira looks like. So if you have got this in the house, please keep it now, because the breaking news coming right now says you will be able to spend that money. It is still a legal tender according to the federal government, according to the Apex Court this morning, and that is the breaking news that is coming. The Igbo is actually trending. And I'll tell you the reason why that is trending. There is this, belief by some Yorubas that are playing, these out to say that the Igbo are going to be taking Lagos in this election because of Labour Party. So the push now is the candidate of the Labour Party an Igbo man, or as a wife that's got to be an Igbo woman. So the question then is, do we allow Lagos State to be taken away by the Igbo, even though as we speak right now, they are all Nigerians, but there's some, skepticism around the Yorubas that the Igbo people are trying to take Lagos away from them. But each time I looked at that kind of conversation, the question is, do we talk about the Chinese that destroyed Osun State, where the gold, reserve were destroyed, with evidence? We have the federal government did nothing. Do we talk about the other that are coming into the country? But as that has been playing out, more Nigerians are now coming out with Davido is married to an Igbo girl, and they are doing very well. The governor of Osun State is an Igbo, and is a governor. Even Seyi Tinubu, the president's son, is also married to an Igbo woman. So why now are they all complaining? And this is generating a lot of conversation And as I speak to you right now, 138,000 retweets on the name alone, Igbo. And again, let's take a look at, some of what is trending in terms of this conversation. Sheyi Tinubu's wife, Igbo from Anambra, her name is Chinwe. She's Peter Obi's sister. Only a fool will allow them to be used. I am the daughter of one of your elite, and the elite doesn't fight themselves. Region and tribal hatred are weapons fashioned against the trench. So again, 6 feet tall Igbo girl is trending. Igbo people are not wanted in Nigeria. Let's go home. This is another threat from an APC member. Biafra is the only solution, according to Critics News. So this is really generating. Nigeria is not for Igbo. Let's go home then. It seems that Nigeria doesn't want to allow the Igbo people to go. And again, the question then is, should we remain as Nigerians? Every Nigerians have the right to live wherever they want to live, because that is what the Constitution is saying. But it seems that some part of Lagos disagree with that, and that is playing out right now into the social media. That is how far we take, because I believe that is the most important conversation right now on the social media regarding Lagos is not for the Igbo, why some believe that Lagos is no man's land. So it's becoming a lot of conversation on the social media this morning.
Wow. Please, let's hold our peace when it comes to that, because you are all fighting for a cause. And then if, both of you are going to say, we don't want that, we want that, then we're going to be in trouble, because then the focus of government equipment, look at these people, they are fighting, let's cram down on them. We don't want that to happen. But the question is Labour Party an Igbo party? It is not. The fact that the candidate is the presidential candidate is an Igbo person doesn't make Labour Party and Igbo party. Neither we say that the APC is a Yoruba party because Tinubu is leading that. No, that's not how it works there. But Prince people are saying that he is talking about the he said, thank God it's Friday, the Supreme Court has ordered the old notes and is still a legal tender until the 23rd of December 2023. So we're going to be spending the money. You have it, as Yomi said, bring it, let's go to Nigeria, let's go spend before the 23rd of December. But we don't know what the
at least mine will get to Nigeria before the end of the year. I still have some here as well, so so if I have to now spend this money and send it home, this is mine, and I have the 500 naira, which is a lot of it that I have, because this is a big note. I don't have the 200, but I have the 1,000 as well. So mine will get to Nigeria in time before December 2023.
Yeah, see, this man has got a lot of money, whatever it is, we don't know what the bank of the Central Bank of Nigeria is going to say. They're going to react to that. They might say something. We don't know whether they can appeal that. Or we don't know what the federal government is going to do. But we know that for Harry, after the Supreme Court ruled that the money should be allowed, people should be allowed to use that money, he came out and said that no, you can only spend the
200 naira till April.
Naira, and the others you wouldn't allow. So we don't know what is going to happen there. But whatever it is, keep on sending us the information and we'll put it across as well. Yomi, before we go.
Well, the weekend is here, and it is always on Starr Radio UK. So please tune into all the the news, the music, the faith on Sunday, and everything that is happening. But the best way you can do so is, if you are not on Twitter, get a Twitter and make sure you follow the Starr Radio UK on the Twitter handle, where you will be able to monitor what is happening. I will be back on Monday. May Nigeria not happen to us as we go over the weekend, and as we always say, let us remain our calm for those of us that are campaigning, and those that are also, putting the narrative out there that the Igbo are taking away, the Yoruba land. They can't take away the Yoruba land. The Yoruba land will always be the Yoruba land, but everybody has a right to live where they can live right now. And maybe in the near future, we can decide whether somebody that's a criminal cannot live with us, or it can be somebody that will live with us but would abide by the constitution of the country that it is. But right now, the 1999 Constitution guarantees every Nigerian to live wherever they want to live, and that is the way it's going to be for now. Starr Radio UK, I'll be back again on Monday morning. Right for now.
Thank you very much, Yomi. We'll catch up later. Listeners, that's all right. Have this from Nigeria. Now, 12 minutes to the top of the hour.
Ẹ̀yin tèmi, mo ti lọ oversleep. Kí mo ṣe lọ sùn láàárọ̀ yìí ni. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ní gbòfin wa gbalẹ̀ yìí, narrative burúkú tẹ́ máa put out ẹ̀. Mo sọ fún yín pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni màá ti bàjẹ́ mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́. Ẹ bá ní ọmọ Igbo ní mi. Mad people all over the place. We have a bigger problem in our hand. Ẹ wá ní káwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n á sọ pé ká ní kọ́ dìbò fún Tinubu. Iṣẹ́ òní ní Sanwó-Olú rárá. Iṣẹ́ òní Sanwó-Olú ṣe fún àtàmà ní kọ́ dìbò fún. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni free to think, both never come, but ṣèbí aṣọ fáwọn èèyàn ọ̀dà wa lóhùn àwọn ní kí shut up. Ó kì í shut up. O lè wà ní London kó máa make a decision. Shut up! Owó jágbajàgba, owó tó ní value, owó náà nílé kò ní value kọ̀ọ̀kan. Gbogbo owó náà ló máa ń rùn jágbajàgba yìí. Olówó nìkan ló máa ń rówó tuntun ní Nàìjíríà. Tálákà ń rówó tuntun. Níbo ló ti fẹ́ rí? Ẹ ká ṣojú òpó. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Tunisia? Máa ṣe rí sórí ẹnikẹ́. Ọlọ́run àgbà wa ní African country. Ta ló wà ní Tunisia tó jẹ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó máa ń gbọ́ wa? Ó lè fún wa ní kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ níbẹ̀? What's actually going on in Tunisia? We have so much problem. Problem ti pọ̀ jù. Problem ní Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run. Ṣé tó bá yẹ pé Nàìjíríà ń ṣiṣẹ́ ni? Ìyá mi Grace Olúṣọ̀tọ̀ ẹ káàárọ̀ mọ́ mi. Ṣàlàfíà ni. Àwọn grandchildren yìí kan bẹ̀rẹ̀. Orun yẹn mo ti sùn lọ kó tó jí mi pé ó ní ṣe Star Radio ni. Ẹ má bínú ìtawà lórí Instagram. Let me bring you back to the studio. But you know the wood Ọlọ́run. Ní ẹ pé èèyàn bá ṣàìsùn. A ti ṣe program kan kọjá láàárọ̀ yìí. Táwọn kan ti wá gbà sí fún mi nínú àtijọ́ gbà sí fúnra wa. Àbí àti ẹ̀gbọ́n mi jọ wà lórí program ni ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ní Faris mo fi máa dárúkọ wọn. Àwọn kan wà tí bá dárúkọ wọn ẹ máa lọ máa wo profile wọn. Àwọn secret ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dẹ̀ ni wọ́n. Alhaji nǹkan bẹ̀ ṣàlàfíà Alhaji wà. Ẹ pè mí ó tó jọ́ mẹ́ta ṣé kò sí abẹ́ ń bá mi jà ni. Ẹ bá tẹ̀ ń bá mi jà ní wà lórí ètò pẹ̀lú mi. Mr. Kẹ́hìndé Salami báwọn ní tálí láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Gíláàsì ìdọ̀tí o. Ẹ̀yin tèmi mo ti ṣojú òpó ẹjẹ́ ká tẹ̀ gbọ́ ẹjẹ́ agbó látọ̀nù sí ìjẹ́ ká tó wá lọ kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Tunisia. Mr. Saheed ẹni afẹ́ mo kí yín Mr. Emmanuel Fadipẹ Adéṣeun Adélani ẹ máa ń dàpọ̀ báwo ṣe máa ń rí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tí mò ń pè. I have a lot of devices here so I can monitor or probably another revolution boss now mo fẹ́ play mo ní enough strength so we just go straight into the program. Ẹ má bínú pa tètè bẹ̀rẹ̀ Star Radio lórí program yìí because ọwọ́ ọkùnrin sá pápápápá bá ṣe ń ṣe Star Radio lọ́mọ sí wọ́n ti bá àmà tí mo fẹ́ play àwọn fídíò kan fún yín in táwọn Ọ̀háìzè Indigo ìtọ́sọ̀lànà lórí Arise ẹ lè má ti gbọ́ nígbà yẹn ti máa gbọ́ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ so a máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí yẹn mo ń send breaking news tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nísìnyí sí orí timeline wa. Support the platform who are very, very important. We are doing a lot of upgrade and we need your support so that gbogbo tó ń lọ pátápátá a lè máa fún yín. Yoruba Nation Media lélẹ̀ kò ní kankan nínú ìyọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nìkan ni àwọn platform ilé máa sàn kan mi bọ̀ ibi báyọ̀ platform Yoruba Nation Media ni iṣẹ́ tó dẹ̀ máa ṣe tá a máa fi gba Yorùbá ìjọ kí ìjọ tá a bá gbà náà ni iṣẹ́ tí màmá ṣe náà nìyẹn àwọn kan ṣẹlẹ̀ tẹ máa ní kí lọ wáṣẹ́ yẹn ó máa fọ́nì sí i tẹ bá ní kí lọ wáṣẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé ṣẹlẹ̀ ilé tí yàn ṣe go get a job go and find job to do gbàtẹ́ pé the trait ni ìyá mi Elena ẹ káàsán mọ́ mi ọ̀sán ti fẹ́ mọ́ ní UK náà bá ṣe ní bí 15 minutes ẹ káàbọ̀ ìyá wa Annie Bọ́lájí mo kí dáadáa ìyá yẹn wà very very neutral màá sọ reason why ẹ má bínú mọ́ mi pé máa dárúkọ yín má rí wọn lórí ṣóòṣó ẹ kórí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ tíyàn bá neutral èèyàn lè wá sí bíbá kó gbọ́ program èèyàn even nǹkan tó bá agree pẹ̀lú mi kó tún lọ sí the other side but ẹ bá lọ sí the other side yẹn comment kan wà táwọn kan máa lọ comment wọ́n wà ní bíbá náà irú mọ́mí wa tí mò ń sọ yìí I say all the time wọ́n wá máa lọ sọ́dọ̀ ṣọ́ ẹ kórí bẹ́ẹ̀ because there is nothing wrong in that náwó ṣe jẹ́ náà nìyẹn fún yàn lọ gbọ́ both sides Koiki wo ló fi sọ lẹ́nìí oníṣẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ oríbẹ̀ máa sọ but with your comments we will know. Mo sọ fún pé má lọ síbẹ̀ má lọ ka comment wọn ìyẹn làwọn kan ṣe lè comment wọn sí bíbá because tó bá comment ní bíbá based on their comment tó ti lọ ń ṣe níbẹ̀ yẹn Koiki wo ó lè ní Koiki àti Dara àti gbogbo wa ẹ lọ gbọ́ Yèyé Dara audio kan tó ṣẹ̀ tí Yèyé Dara play ní orí platform wọn mo gbọ́ láàárọ̀ yìí ló mọ́jú èní àti ṣí phone line wa àfẹ́ni tó bá fẹ́ pè wọlé kó tó di pa máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò wa gangan for the time being kì í ṣe gba call kàdé. So yes, we don't expect everybody to be together so gbogbo pé ká lọ ṣiṣẹ́ together ẹ fi yẹn sílẹ̀ ìgbọ́lá fi ṣe BBC àti Sky ṣiṣẹ́ together. Let everybody play their own part. Tó bá yẹ pé àwọn náà ti gba country ṣé tó bá gba country ṣá máa lé gbogbo akúrò ní country yẹn wọ́n lè lé gbogbo akúrò gbogbo àjọba wà nú ẹ̀ náà ní Yorùbá nation tá à ń sọ ìkànnì ṣe fẹ́mi nìkan fún gbogbo wa ní sọ ẹ jẹ́ ká gba call ẹ pè wọlé ẹ disagree pẹ̀lú mi ẹ dẹ̀ agree pẹ̀lú mi kò matter but ní táwa kan sọ ni pé country o àìwọ̀ tí ni pé wọ́n gba country bá ṣe wà hello ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò bàbá wa ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ káàbọ̀ à ń gbọ́ yín o.
èmi ti sọ fáwọn èèyàn ẹ má jáde fún ìbò yìí ẹ bá ti ń jáde fún ìbò yìí ẹ ti ń bá wọn legalize illegal kìíní wọn ni.
ṣé àtẹ̀tí kẹran mẹ́rò bìkan ẹ má bínú 3 million mo fún gbogbo Yorùbá South West tó dìbò Tinubu èèyàn 3 million ló kó wa padà sínú problem again nínú gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá 3 million péré ló vote Tinubu.
illegal kìíní ni wọ́n lè ìbò yín wọn ní kàbó yín wọ́n ti kú nọ́mbà tó máa announce sílẹ̀ fún ara wọn láti lẹ̀.
Okay.
Now America ó congratulate Tinubu ìlú yìí náà àwọn ń ta brandi wọn ni democracy ọjà náà tà tí wọn.
ẹ jẹ́ n gbọ́ dáadáa brandi wọn ni ìmú òtúbọ̀ ìbò yẹn rí o brandi wọn ni democracy.
nǹkan tó ń tà nìyẹn.
So US àti UK brand wọn ni democracy.
ṣé bó ṣe ń coordinate ìbò ní UK àti US náà ṣe ṣe ní ìtàn ṣe
ní location confusion.
ṣé báwọn ṣe ń ṣe ìbò nílùú ìnìyẹn. ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan táwọn wà tà ní pé ọjà táwọn ń tà kó má bàjẹ́.
kó má bàjẹ́ kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sí kò mìíràn.
Àwọn bíráǹdì ọjà wọn ni democracy. So ẹ bá jẹ́ pé ṣẹlẹ̀ para yín ṣé àwọn máa láwọn òní fídíò pé ọlọ́pàá nínú uniform ó jí àpótí ìbò.
wọ́n ti ní ká lọ sí court náà ìgbọ́n mi wọ́n ní ká lọ court ká lọ yọjú ẹ̀ ní court.
wọ́n kàn tọra wọn ni. ṣé tó bá yẹ pé wọ́n respect judiciary kìíní àti ti Supreme Court ṣé kò yẹ kó ti release iná ti Kánú. ó yẹ kó ti release ẹ̀ náà. so àwọn èèyàn wa àwọn èmi jẹ́ pé yíwọ́n náà pé ẹ̀rọ bá máa pè mí o. lórí ẹ̀yin náà lẹ jáde ẹ̀ lọ ń dìbò.
ẹ̀ ń bínú sáwọn èèyàn ní ẹ̀ ń bínú sáwọn èèyàn wa nílé ní ẹ̀ má bínú sí wọn náà. àbí. wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ pè yìí ẹ ò dáṣẹ́ ẹ tó bá yàwó ẹ̀sùn tó bá lóyún tó bẹ́ lọ sí hospital tó bá pè yẹ nídàá lóhùn ni.
Tinubu máa ló ti sọ gbogbo ẹbí ọ̀fẹ́ fún wọn.
Tinubu ti gbà ó di mẹ́ka tó bọ̀ tí Tinubu fi ṣe ó sì promise lọ́wọ́ ni ìyá mi flow Yétúndé Tàlàbá ìmọ̀ mú kí mọ́ mi ẹ̀ka bọ̀. ẹ ṣé gan ẹ̀gbọ́n mi thank you so much. ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ká tó wọnú program tá a fẹ́ ṣe lénìí ibi tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lọ lénìí mo ti rí ti Tunisia yẹn a máa link ẹ̀ because Tunisia is a Islamic country wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ wá bí a ti rí àwọn ṣẹlẹ̀ tó pọ̀ ní Tunisia don't make a complain. Spark Lizzie mo kí yín ìyá mi Pastor Mo ẹ káàbọ̀ mo kí gbogbo àwọn olùṣọ́ káàkiri Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí èmi jókòó síbí kí n máa fẹnu mi wá rọ̀ pé àwọn pásítọ̀ wòlíì òkè á máa ṣe pé èèyàn tí ó go overboard a lè bọ́ àwọn politician dáadáa ó máa lè làwọn politicians wa ó máa lè gidi confam but kí wọ́n á jókòó síbí kí wọ́n máa fẹnu wa rọ̀ fún a lè complain fún àwọn Christian wọ́n ṣe the right thing ẹ ti fọlọ́n kó wa lómi ọbẹ̀ jẹ́ but a gbọ́dọ̀ bọ́ àwọn èèyàn Ọlọ́run mo kí bàbá wa Bashma Ọlárẹ̀wájú Barika Jimoh ìyá mi Princess Adébímpé Adéníyì àwọn ìyá dáadáa nìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń sà sí mi àwọn ìyá yẹn á máa ṣàdúrà nù yàrá wọn á máa dá padà sí yín bó ṣe rí nìyẹn. Ìyá mi Fọláṣadé Òjó ẹ pè wọlé ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ views yín lórí 3 million precisely ló kó ìbò fún Shukurat Ọpẹ́yẹmí. Mo kí yín ẹ káàbọ̀, Báríkà Jímọ̀ fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa, mo kí gbogbo àwọn Yorùbá káàkiri, mo kílẹ̀ Yorùbá fúnra rẹ̀, Yorùbá land ni bàbá Akíntóyè máa ń lò. Bébí ká gbọ́ fídíò bàbá Akíntóyè yẹn tí wọ́n tọ́ release. Kódà àwọn kan tún ní ẹ bàbá ìtúndú tún béèrè owó ni bàbá ìyẹn tán máa ń sọ lọ́dọ̀ ṣó ẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn. Wọ́n ní 419 ni bàbá Akíntóyè, wọ́n ní wọ́n àgbà kínní kan ni. Màṣẹ lẹ́nu ọmọ Yorùbá. Tàdé ní a ní Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù tó ń jà fún Àtíkù lọ, tó ń jà pitipitipiti. Tẹ bá rí Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù báyìí máa wọ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn tẹ ṣe slow down díẹ̀ nà. Kí ló le tó yìí? Kí l'Àtíkù fẹ́ fún yín? À ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé Yorùbá nísìn. Bob D nísìn gbogbo wàhálà tó ń ṣe lórí Àtíkù nísìn. Ó ti já sófo bẹ́ẹ̀ Àtíkù nísìn máa padà lọ Dubai máa lọ jayé ẹ̀. Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù ní British passport. Àwọn náà ti sá lọ ní o. Ó tó di pé wọ́n gba British passport torí pé nígbà tábàtà fi pa wọ́n ó ti di lọ́kọ́ sá lọ. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ẹ̀gbọ́n mi bàbá ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè sà.
Mr. Koiki ẹ kú ètò.
Gbogbo àdán àjọ ń ṣe náà ni àmì Jésù Kristi.
Ṣe rí nǹkan mi just one minute before my contribution.
Okay.
Mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ nǹkan kan dájú. Problem tí Nàìjíríà ń fèsì lẹ́nu ìpìlẹ̀ ló bàjẹ́. Torí pé tí ìpìlẹ̀ bá ti wọ́, ohun tí ẹ̀ bá fẹ́ ṣe ń bẹ̀ kò lè lójútùú. Irọ́ ni wọ́n fi pilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà.
Irọ́.
Wọ́n tó bá dẹ̀ ti ní tó ti yé.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Gbogbo àwọn tẹ́lẹ̀ kò tí wọ́n fi di pẹ́sẹ́ǹtì ẹ̀ Buhari ní Yar'Adua ní níta gbogbo wọn pátápátá wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe é torí pé ìpìlẹ̀ tí wọ́n fi tún Nàìjíríà òun ni ò jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe.
Okay.
Náà ó sì di sẹ́mi ìpìlẹ̀ tí wọ́n dàrú ní ìpìlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà gangan wọ́n ní ìpìlẹ̀ náà tí bá tí bí aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu tí wọ́n ti fi wọlé ìpìlẹ̀ yẹn ó tún wọ́n gbogbo tó bá ti lè ní èrò nínú kì í kò ní dá o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣéjú bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣéjú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ kò lè lójútùú.
Tá a bá ṣéjú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ kò lè lójútùú.
Kò ní lójútùú. Kò ní lójútùú pé ìpìlẹ̀ tí ìpìlẹ̀ bá ti lè wọ foundation ó lágbára púpọ̀. Wọ́n sì ń dáhùn yẹ́pọ̀ ìpariwo pé èkó wà lórí Nàìjíríà kì í ṣe ìpínlẹ̀ wà lórí Nàìjíríà. Ìpìlẹ̀ àwọn tó kó Nàìjíríà papọ̀ yìí ló fi kó wájọ́. Owó pàṣẹ Nàìjíríà ti lójútùú. Irọ́ yẹn náà ni a ṣe ń jọba lé lórí ìdájọ́kòó sí látijọ́ yìí. Wọ́n ló gbé kọ́ wọ́n ṣe.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi bọ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ yọ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kúrò àwọn kan tún ní irọ́ là ń pa náà ni.
No, sori gbogbo àwọn tó sọ kúrò là ń pa ẹ̀yìn ìsàkúrò.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Àwọn àríjẹ ní ìmọ̀ ìdàrú ni wọ́n.
Okay, ó ti yé mi nísìnyí. Ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ yé mi.
Àwọn àríjẹ ní ìmọ̀ ìdàrú àwọn làwọn yẹn.
Okay.
Kò sí onímọ̀ ẹgbọ́n tẹ sórí ni ẹni èèyàn ọmọ 19 years old ó parẹ́ lórí wípé wọ́n ti rí píṣọ̀ Nàìjíríà àkókò ní
wàláì a lè fi píṣọ̀ ìwọ̀n yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ parọ́ ní 19 years old.
Ṣé mo pé ó ti wọ́n pè nìyẹn. Ó ti wọ́n pè ní ẹ̀wọ̀n káwọn kí èmi ò tí ì rí ní gbogbo adájọ́ tí wọ́n ti máa ṣe.
Ó wù mí kí wọ́n sílẹ̀ Mr. Baston mo fẹ́ fìyàn sílẹ̀ náà ní píparí Yorùbá nation.
Èmi ò sọpọ́tì ẹni gbọ́dọ̀ wọn o.
Ó yé mi.
Èmi dàgbà kọ́ wọn kàn máa gbọ́ news. Èmi ò sọpọ́tì ẹni gbọ́dọ̀ wọn. Ọjà ẹ bá gbọ́ ohun bí ọ̀pọ̀ òbí ẹbí sọ̀rọ̀. Èmi pé kí nìyẹn dùn.
Ó dùn gan.
Ó dùn kò lè sí nǹkan tó fi ń dùn ju pé ẹ mọ̀ wọ́n ní ó wà is very visible to clients and audible to death. Ṣùgbọ́n àwa kàn sọ fún wọn pé gbogbo àwọn tó bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ òun ni ò jẹ́ fi ẹ tàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn. Kí Nàìjíríà tàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn. Humanity comes before religion.
Ṣèbí bàbá wa sọ mo kí bàbá wa kan náà tó wọlé bàbá wa kan ti sọ bàbá wa pásítọ̀ Adépọ̀ ó ní humanity ẹ rántí pé nu fídíò tí máa ń play máa tún play ti bàbá wa pásítọ̀ Emmanuel tó gba humanity ọ̀tọ̀ ní kéèyàn lọ chọ́ọ̀chì ọ̀tọ̀ ní kí humanity wà níbẹ̀ ọ̀tọ̀ ní mọ́ṣáláṣí ọ̀tọ̀ ní humanity à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation ẹ má ní káyé tàwọn ọmọ Igbo à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation má ní káyé tàwọn Hausa but a kò gbọdọ̀ nation pé akọ́kọ́ ronú para wa.
Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn pẹ́kọ́kọ́ bí ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀sìn sọ́tọ̀ tí problem tó wà nílẹ̀ sí ọlọ́run kó bí èmi ò tiẹ̀ ní sọ wọ́ọ̀tì náà torí problem ti wáyé ọ̀rẹ́ dì náà. màá kọ́kọ́ sáré gbé nǹkan problem tó wà nílẹ̀ lọ́sọ̀ pé ní ilẹ̀ lọ́gán àwọn tó náà ń dìbò fún mi bí ẹbí kan òbí. sọ pé torí wípé wọ́n ní àná àti gbogbo jẹ́ muslim ticket. ìyá ló fi yà bọ̀ra. ṣé nígbà wo ni ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn ẹlẹ́yàpẹ̀lẹ́ ní ẹ̀sìn ìjà ẹ̀sìn oníwájúwálẹ̀ tó máa sọ pé àwọn muslim ṣe òdòdó fáwọn christianity.
christianity ṣubú kò sódodo nínú ẹ̀ ní pásítọ̀ Adépọ̀jù sọ lánàá. kò sí òdodo christianity ti sòdodo nú ẹ̀ nù ọmọ ìjọ ń parọ́ fún pásítọ̀ gan parọ́ fún ọmọ ìjọ kò sódodo mọ́.
tí o bá lè sódodo bàbá kan tó bàbá yẹn ó ní nàláì yẹn gbogbo ẹ̀ lóòótọ́ nàláì yẹn yóò fi jẹ́ kí nàìjíríà lójútùú.
nàláì yẹn ni kò ní jẹ́ kí nàìjíríà lójútùú ọ̀rọ̀ rí ẹgbàá wá o. Bàbá ìtumú mi lọ sí 1999 constitution by Abubakar Abdulsalam.
Nàláì ló wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Nàláì yẹn.
Ẹ ṣe gan pásítọ̀ Emmanuel tó gba mímọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Tó fi kójọ nàláì.
Irọ́ ni. Ẹ ṣe gan ni. Àmín. A ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọpọlọ nínú ilé. Má sọ fún yín pé ìyàtọ̀ àwọn atajọ wà níta ni pé àwa ń lóúnjẹ jẹ. Details tẹ máa fi support ẹ̀ bá àròwó gbà lórí YouTube wọn ẹlòmíì fẹ́ fún mi ní super chat kókó igi ilé tó tẹ̀ ń sọ bá mi ẹ̀wù mi ẹ lókè ó ti ń scroll ní sí àwọn kan ní Koiki àwa náà fẹ́ fún ẹ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan bá àmọ́ bí tá máa sẹ́ndẹ̀ sí mo kí dáadáa bàbá wa Pastor Emmanuel tó gba mo sọ ọdún kan tó wọlé Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ káwa jókòó síbí ṣé mo pé láìláì yẹn ká ló rántí fídíò yìí ká kọ̀ gbọ́ díẹ̀ kọ́lọ́ jẹ́ kó gbá sórí screen bí a máa push ẹ̀ wá bí ojoojúmọ́ la máa adjust ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ẹ dáná rántí fídíò ìyá yìí fídíò mọ́mí wa yìí irọ́ náà ni wọn ò jẹ́ bìlíìfù ìyá yìí náà ni nígbà tí ìyá yìí ní Fúlàní gbé mi wọnú igbó wọ́n bá mi ṣe tí kò yẹ kó bá mi ṣe kí ló dé ọdí ò jáde kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gẹ̀ níbo lọ́dí ò sá lọ gẹ̀ ókè mi mo mute ọdí ò látọ̀dọ̀ mi ẹ má bínú ṣé òun yóò gbọ́ mi ṣá rárá láti inú mixlr látẹ̀kan mo bọ̀ ẹ lọ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní mixlr ṣé ń gbọ́ mi látẹ̀kan ṣá Comrade Plan B because apparently my mute okay speaker ló máa mute mic ò ní mute okay ó ti yé mi nísìn ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ìyá yìí ní 2018 ìyá yìí jáde abiyamọ tòótọ́ ó ní ẹ̀yà ara Nàìjíríà ó ní my people ẹ̀dẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ òtítọ́ ẹ̀ sọ okay ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mi lórí mixlr because mo mute speaker ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ni so ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́n tí ìyá yìí sọ díẹ̀ bí yàn bá gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ìyá yìí ọ̀rọ̀ abiyamọ á múyàn lọ́kàn pé àwọn ìyá wa ń try orí show Yèyé Dára ọkọ̀ lọ́sọ̀njọ́ Friday pé àwọn arúgbó tó ń bá sùn nínú igbó yẹn báwo l'arúgbó ṣe máa délé tó máa rántí rẹ́pò kódà nínú ayé gangan sẹ̀ bí yàn bá rẹ́pò èèyàn ó difficult fẹ́ni ẹ̀ láti sọ pé I've been raped nísìnyí lọ́sẹ̀ máa ń encourage àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ wá sọ pé wọ́n rape yín especially ní UK ní bíbá ká lè bá lé olórí burúkú tó rape yín yẹn kó lè bá lọ sẹ́wọ̀n bọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà ẹ̀gbọ́n tí a sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n tó sọ.
The driver felt the wagon.
À ń ní kọ́ọ̀lù mi tó tún bọ̀ àpọ́sì yẹn díẹ̀ náà bẹ́ẹ̀ máa rántí fídíò yìí ok nọ́mbà yẹn ti ẹ pè wọlé ẹ má dẹ́rù ẹ má jẹ́ káyà yìí jà ẹ pè wọlé ẹ jẹ́ àgbọ̀n kan tí ìyá yìí sọ ọ̀rọ̀ 2018 lélẹ́yìí o èmi náà bá fídíò yẹn pàdé rí mo sọ pé àfijọ́ tí ìyá yìí bá ní kí n má lo fídíò yìí mọ́nìkan là nílò ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń dùnyàn nígbà àyà ni bí wọn bá gbọ́rọ̀ ìyá yìí ẹ jẹ́ àgbọ̀ sí tílẹ̀ nǹkan sí.
And decided to park the car with the hope of changing the tire.
It was like a film. In a GC, motley crowd of armed men in military uniform came out of the bush. They fired at the boot of the car. Ahead of us, 5 of them came out of the bush. Another 2 came from the rear. My daughter screamed, "Mommy, Daddy, what's going on?" There was no time to say a word. They marched us through into the bush, firing into the sky. They hit me on my chest, hit my daughter on her head. Blood oozed. At this time, it was better to kill me. I shouted at one of the armed men. His response was hell. He went straight for my private part.
Tore my dress.
Kábíyèsí Elédùmarè ẹ máa ká plẹ̀ púpọ̀ èyí jímọ̀ àwọn máa lè tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn náà fún ìyá yìí àwọn náà lọ́ọ́ sì ń ṣiṣẹ́ títí dé ní kò tí kúrò ń bẹ́ ọ ṣé mọ̀ pé àgbọ̀rọ̀ Boko Haram lẹ́nijọ́ mẹ́ta ìgbókò ẹ̀ quiet okay bí ẹni tó win ni wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún bí opposition ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún ni àmọ́ tó bá yá. Nigeria at the verge of breakup. Mo kí bàbá confam ó wà ní South Africa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ àwọn náà bá mi fi South Africa wọ̀nyí nínú fídíò kan ní tí Koiki máa fi wọ̀nyí lélẹ́yìí ẹ rí o ẹ jà fọ̀rọ̀ yá ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ èmi Jímọ̀ mi ò bá ń gbọ́rọ̀ yẹn a máa dùn nígbà àyà. Mo kí bàbá mi Adéníran Adex Yorùbá ló ga jù mo kí yín. Ẹ lè disagree pẹ̀lú wa pé a support one particular person. Ọ̀rọ̀ nípa Yorùbá nation ó máa tó yé everybody láìpẹ́. Táwọn olùṣọ́ àgbà bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé torí chọ́ọ̀chì tí wọ́n ń ṣe chọ́ọ̀chì ńlá táwọn èèyàn lọ sínú chọ́ọ̀chì àwọn pásítọ̀ Emmanuel tó gbà nígbà tó yẹ pé ibi wọn máa ń wo ẹlòmíì báyìí ó máa ń fẹ́ wo chọ́ọ̀chì tó gbé lọ pé ṣé building yẹn ṣó structure yẹn tó nice ṣé ó máa rí àwọn ọmọ tó dúró dáadáa tó kọ́mú síwájú wọn ní lọ sínú chọ́ọ̀chì àwọn bàbá confam kí ló fi wá lọ síbẹ̀ wọn ní bàbá tó nírun dáadáa yẹn wọ́n fi lọ sí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tí wọ́n ní graphics tí gbogbo ẹ̀ tó ń project táwọn ọmọ ń jó tó ń jù dídáì ayé ti bàjẹ́. Mo kí ìyàwó Grace dáadáa ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò girama ó tó jọ́ mẹ́ta mọ́mì mo mọ̀ pé àlàáfíà lẹ́wà. Ẹ jẹ́ tó lọ sọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tẹ́lẹ̀ bá ti wọlé nísìnyí ó máa tún mú mi lọ sí street ẹ bá mute background ẹ bá ti wọlé ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ gbogbo lẹ́gbọ̀n lè Koiki. Ṣé Yorùbá 3 million ṣé àwọn ọlọ́mọ decide future
ẹ̀hún náà làwọn ọ̀dọ́ báyìí 3 million péré ló vote for Tinubu ní election yìí 3 million.
Ó dà pé kọ́sì ẹ̀bẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń gbà mí èmi máa ń tún wọ̀ ní pé why are you dying down the energy Mr. Bennett?
Ṣé pé bí ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ṣé ó ń dá energy yẹn down ni? Bí kò mo fẹ́ kó yé àwọn èèyàn pé kórìí wọn lè pé ká lè bá mọ̀ pé tá a bá ṣe tó ẹ ká ṣe 3 million how can 3 million decide our fate 3 million.
A ti ń pariwo for the last 3 years.
Àwọn èèyàn gbọ́ ọ̀wọ́ dára lóhùn.
ọgbọ́n àwọn tí kò bá yé dìsìn kò lè yé wọn láyé so a lè jẹ́ kí káwá ti torí àwọn kan tí wọn ti gbọ́ nǹkan tá à ń sọ káwá paná ọkọ̀ dúró pé.
tábà paná ẹ̀wọ̀n ni máa ṣe program òun náà la ṣe wà lórí ẹ̀yọ́ yìí gbogbo àdùn yìí.
so a gbọ́dọ̀ máa tọ́ volume yẹn ìsìn gangan ló yẹ kí volume yẹn wọ maximum. so nǹkan tẹ́mi fẹ́ sọ sí nígbà tí 5 million bá tẹ̀ ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ petition gbà ẹ̀ bó jẹ́ orí ìdá kò rí over 5 million kan ló buwọ́ sí petition.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣé petition yẹn kò ti nullify 3 million tó elect Tinubu báyìí? So the masses of the Yoruba people do not want participants in Nigeria anymore.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Without pay àti ẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ anybody mọ́, the turnout for the election itself
was very low.
Ó ti invalidate the election fúnra rẹ̀. Kábọ̀ bọ̀ sí pé ó ti ẹ̀fọ́ wá yí election pé ó ṣe màgòmágó ọ̀fẹ́ ọ̀fẹ́ Tinubu sí. Tinubu tó fi sí yẹn is just to calm the aggression of the Yoruba masses.
Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń rí ṣe dáa.
Because not already láti wọ́n bí pẹ̀lú àwọn tó mú wa lẹ́rú nílẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Okay.
And ó dẹ̀ rí pé side east yẹn ibẹ̀ yẹn gbóná apá àwọn òkà mọ́.
Ẹ mọ̀ kọ́ ọmọlúàbí làwọn àbínà ọmọlúàbí ni wá ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe ọmọlúàbí.
wá ń ṣe wá báyìí sí òun ló wá ń pa wá kú báyìí. So wọ́n ti lọ gbéná ojú àwọn tó wà yìí sọ́rí pé àwọn yẹn wọn ò tiẹ̀ kò ṣe ṣeré mọ́. Àwọn yẹn ti kọ́ lẹ́sìn wọn from the last Biafran atrocity tó ṣẹlẹ̀. So ló ṣe ṣí táǹkì wá sí south west tí wọ́n wá fi military might tó fi wọ̀n wá before election. Ó ṣe torí election lọ ṣe ṣí wọn síta. Wọ́n kàn ṣí wọn síta pé ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe rí plan ta níyì o. Ẹni táwa fẹ́ kó wọlé yẹn òun ló máa wọlé. Tẹ bá tiẹ̀ lè fẹ́ jáde lásán àwọn tó máa kojú yín ni. Nǹkan tó ṣe nìyẹn so ọ̀rọ̀ fi yẹn ó fi wọ̀nyí pé tẹ bá ní ẹ ti rẹ́dì ẹ̀ kó bọ̀jọ ẹ fẹ́ jáde ẹ fẹ́ secession ẹ fẹ́ gbà lóyún ṣé ẹ máa lè kojú àwọn military báyìí
Àbí ṣé ẹ rí àwọn táǹkì yẹn ní ọjọ́ election gangan kọ́ máa káàkiri police station gbogbo àwọn tó ń pariwo pé if you come out if you no vote for APC kìnìkan go back to your house o ṣé military wà níbẹ̀ tó arrest wọn gbà military kankan ṣé bí police náà nìkan náà láàrin tó ń jáde sáwọn police station kankan. At the same time we see the same police people hijacking ballots thumbprinting it themselves. Ìyẹn wá bring me wá sí conversation America àti UK orí burúkú òṣì kan tán láwọn recognize president. Àwọn ló recognize president ṣé bí mo sọ fún yín pé administrative role ní the so-called democracy tó gbé fún wa as the system of practice in Africa to rubbish our own ways which is the kingship rule and his council. Ọwọ́ àfi democracy ó fi supersede yẹn. So all the democracy yẹn ló wá elect Tinubu sí òun ló máa jẹ́ slave master gatekeeper wọn ló máa report administratively wá sọ́dọ̀ wọn. And where did he learn his education? In the West. So ó máa perfect gbogbo account ṣe bá kàn tá sí lò ṣe ó máa perfect gbogbo money laundry yẹn Tinubu máa wá perfect yẹn ṣe bí Peter company ló ṣìṣì sí Lagos ló fi ń gba owó ẹ̀kọ́. Àwọn tí ì rí kankan Nàìjíríà yẹn sẹ eléyìí ó máa ṣí another company in his own name tó máa fi gba gbogbo táàsì gbogbo Nàìjíríà kọ́ọ̀tì táàsì yẹn máa wá sí ìlú òyìnbó bí èyí tó kù Tinubu àti Nàìjíríà máa dù. Ṣé àwa máa lajú wọ́n máa ní ọmọ àlejò yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ká bílẹ̀ kẹ̀sí ìdí ẹ̀ lóbi. Ṣé àwa máa lajú wa kí táàbù kọ́ kó sí báyìí?
Àwọn náà láti wọ̀ báyìí wà láì.
So ó ń dùn ẹ́ ní pé kọ́nà tiẹ̀ jọ àwọn agbára tí Ọlọ́run fáwọn baba ńlá kó tiẹ̀ bá wa kọ̀ kó tiẹ̀ bá wa kọ̀ irú nǹkan báyìí wọ́n tiẹ̀ tí wọn kì í sọ síta rárá. Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n mú wa tó fẹ́ mú wa lẹ́rù tó fẹ́ sọ wá di aṣálẹ̀ gbogbo wọn lọ́lọ́run ti ń fojú wọn wọ̀n fún wa báyìí sí. Ṣé a máa láàmú àwọn tó dẹ̀ ṣe wá fún báyìí?
Bí àrùn tí wọn.
Wọ́n dẹ̀ kọ́ sínú Bible wọ́n ní Ọlọ́run ní my people will be hated all over the world. Ẹ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo dúdú tó wà ní foreign country àtàwọn tó wà UK àti America wọ́n sì máa kú.
Ẹ bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ti Tunisia yẹn wọ́n náà gba sí fún àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà àti Áfíríkà ní Tunisia wọ́n ní president wọn gangan ló sọ pé àwọn ò fẹ́ wọn níbí báyìí pé ẹ fẹ́ sọ Islamic country di nǹkan mímú lọ́wọ́ wàhálà dé báyìí.
Àná ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni nǹkan táwọn èèyàn realize tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ni pé ṣe rí ọba tó fẹ́ jọba tó fẹ́ jorí àlefa ní England tó fẹ́ pè king ní England kí ló ṣe ń pè ẹ́ àsìkò tiẹ̀ bó ṣe fẹ́ lò òun lẹ ti ń rí taste yẹ nísìnyẹn. So at the moment òfin tó gbé gbogbo àgbáyé mọ́ra tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ti suspend yẹ báyìí. So land grabbing is what is going on in the name of ọba tó fẹ́ jẹ oyè ńsìn. Òun dẹ̀ lọ́ba tó ń recognize gbogbo àgbáyé pé ọba tó ju gbogbo ọba lọ lágbàáyé. So wọ́n ti suspend òfin tó ń lò tẹ́lẹ̀ which is international law everything wọ́n ti suspend yẹ. So ọwọ́ àkóbọ̀ lé àwọn tó máa bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ bí wọn lọ́wọ́ pé kọ́ lọ́ máa ṣiṣẹ́ bí káàkiri láti jogún àwọn ilẹ̀ tọ́nà ìpín resources wà bẹ́ẹ̀. And lè rò bí Fúlàní ló fẹ́ wá gbalẹ̀ yìí Fúlàní ló fẹ́ kókò pa ilẹ̀ yìí but resources sí orí ilẹ̀ yẹn gangan òun làwọn need òun ni Fúlàní máa report padà fún ẹni tó fẹ́ jọba. So ẹni orí yọ ó dilé ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ láwà báyìí so ẹ dìde ìjọba lè gbọ́pà ìjọba lóògùn this time is to defend yourself. Kò sófin mọ́ bàbá tó fi bá wà ṣé wọ́n sì máa mú Nnamdi Kanu mọ́lẹ̀ tí kóòtù ní kọ́ bílẹ̀ tí wọ́n filẹ̀.
Buhari ò dáhùn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Kò ní British citizen ni. Ó mà ní British citizen. So kọ́lọ̀ má jarí kò ṣe dáadáa bàbá mi. Kóìkì tó bá jẹ́ pé yìí náà lọ mú báyẹn. Kọ́kọ́ wá yọ British passport jáde pé British ni mi o wọ́n ṣe máa dákẹ́ náà mà nìyẹn. Because gbogbo nǹkan tẹ̀ ń sọ òtítọ́ ni ó dẹ̀ wọ́n nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe. Wọ́n fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ ẹni mọ̀ yín lọ́wọ́. Ọ̀dọ́ Fúlàní ò lè kó ọ̀ nílé pa ogun Yorùbá o. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ti dominate almost half of your land, they have equal say on your land nìyẹn. Ìtorí ẹ̀ lọ ṣe lẹ́ṣẹ̀ rí Sànúsì tọ́ni Ọ̀yọ́ lóyè ní Kaduna kìíní kan tó fi shift ẹ̀ wá sípò. Kí ni táìtì tọ́lẹ̀ ṣì fi ń pè emir normally. So ní lójú yín láì tí kú yín wọ́n ti indirectly move emir sí Èkó. Ẹ lọ gbọ́ báwọn Fúlàní bọ́ ṣe ń káàkiri bọ́ ṣe ń ṣe ránkàdìdì pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tó bá fẹ́ fò jáde kúrò ní Nàìjíríà bọ́ ṣe ń ṣe ránkàdìdì. Tó bá ń wọlé náà ránkàdìdì ewu náà bá Yorùbá lọ ń pọ́n lé báyìí. So a ti ní emir ní Èkó tó máa jẹ emir of Lagos òun nìyẹn. And which position was he before? Ex-governor of Central Bank. Jimmy, only FCO of Central Bank. Then. So ó ti ṣiṣẹ́ fún àwọn British town way náà. Ó ti perfect the money side of things. So owó Central Bank yìí sì òun ló fi ń ra gbogbo ilẹ̀ wa lórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Gbogbo àwọn ibi tó mọ̀ pé àlùmọ́nì wa wà epo gold kọ̀ọ̀kan. Wọ́n rọra ń fi owó Central Bank owó British Central Bank yẹn wọ́n fi ń ra ilẹ̀ yín mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́. Ní mo ṣe sọ pé iṣẹ́ rí bíi tí kìíní ń lọ ọmọ Yorùbá àwa kò máa reactor ni wa a máa ń kọ́kọ́ dúró ná ọwọ́ tí ọwọ́ yẹn dẹ̀ lè mírò kí ó tiẹ̀ máa kick start gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí tí everybody máa fi jáde. Wọ́n dẹ̀ wọnú ọwọ́ church náà wọ́n dẹ̀ pa èèyàn lọ. What did we do about it? Ojú gbá mi tí fún Yorùbá. What did we do about it? Àdẹ̀wà ń wá sórí online lójoojúmọ́ à ń pariwo ẹ̀ Fúlàní fẹ́ gbalẹ̀ mọ́ wa lọ for the last 3 years we haven't done nothing. So àwọn ará bíbá ẹ̀ wọ́n ti suspend òfin bí mo ṣe ń sọ òfin constitution tẹ́yìn wò yẹn they have no regard for it, they don't respect it. That constitution is for stealing and killing of people. For stealing your resources and killing of your people. And if you're not the kind of people that the so-called àwọn tó fẹ́ jọba tó support pé láti succeed ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ indigene orí ilẹ̀ yẹn, the law won't apply to you. Wọ́n máa lo against you because you are no longer considered a human being anymore. You can be do away with whichever àwọn tó ń pàṣẹ whichever they wish. That's why you are seeing Southern Kaduna in crisis. How can Fulani from nowhere, no man's land, invade Nigeria to the extent of our opposition or our law? And our not going to go at the Yoruba Liwa, Fewala, Ṣégbà ó dìgbà tó bá tó ń wọnú kí ló ṣe ń pè inú ilé kọ́ ló máa mú àwọn ìyá wa kó máa rẹ́ wọn lọ́rùn. Bá ṣe rí fídíò òǹdẹ́ yìí tó post sórí Facebook bó ṣe gba àwọn ará Southern Kaduna lọ kí ara wa ká tó sọ jí ṣé gbà yẹn la tó fẹ́ máa defend ara wa ni. Àbí I don't know how we are going to keep discussing this matter again. Ó dẹ̀ sì máa pa àwọn táwa lábúrọ̀dì náà àwọn tá a rò bí òfin kan mú wa mọ́ bíbá ẹ̀. Òfin kan kan mú anybody. When you look at your passport that they give you, even as a British citizen, to job on Nigeria, to have any citizenship or even America, go and read your passport very well. They say this does not identify you as a indigenous person of that country. It's not a form of like birth certificate. Birth certificate long be identified as if it belongs. And see, back to Chinese. All this goes the so-called Politician was talking about which was the Bill of Rights tó fẹ́ pass tó fẹ́ fi supersede EU law. So Bill of Rights tó ń pariwo yẹn is to wọ́n fẹ́ fi gbá EU law yẹn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ pé tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ fẹ́ wọ́n máa claim human right orí kúkú kan àwọn máa lo Bill of Rights yẹn láti fi tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. So claim any EU law kankan under Bill of Rights. So at this point, Iba Gani has spoken as well. Whether he means what he said or not, I don't know. But my fear is how prepared ni àwọn èèyàn wa. Ṣé à ń pariwo pé àwọn tó máa jìjà wa àwọn tó máa gbèjà wọ́n wà lẹ́ are they truly there? Àbí ṣé ká lọ máa ṣe ní woro sí woro báyìí so that tó bá tiẹ̀ fún fèrè tiwọn àwọn tó máa jáde lọ́gbọ́tọ́ tó máa láwọn fẹ́ wá da gbòòrò kò hàn ní pọ̀ torí àti ṣe iṣẹ́ lábẹ́lẹ̀ already. Àbí this talk conversation is not bearing anything. And baba watch out ọba tó fẹ́ jẹ ní ìlú England yẹn ẹ máa wo nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ó máa worst jù báyìí lọ tó bá wọlé ó máa worst ṣe mọ̀ pé wàhálà ti fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ní UK gangan because kíní tó fẹ́ pàṣẹ ṣe tí Rishi Sunak fẹ́ pàṣẹ pé àwọn ti solve EU UK Northern Ireland case yẹn.
mo kíyàn àwọn ọmọlára mo ń bọ̀ lórí nǹkan tẹ́ sọ.
ẹ mọ̀ pé kò yẹ kí ọba kó dá sí negotiation yìí. The king has to be sovereign. So ọba ti ń choose his side ìsìn and ìyẹn ti ń cause problem fún àwọn IRA in Northern Ireland pé irú ìsọkúsọ wo nìyẹn. And if táwọn bá jẹ́ part of UK the same law tó bá apply sí gbogbo rest of UK ló gbọ́dọ̀ apply sáwọn. Pé báwo ló ṣe máa sílẹ̀ fún àwọn fún EU láti máa trade pẹ̀lú àwọn. Ṣé àwọn wà lọ́dà EU law nìyẹn ni àbáwọn wà lọ́dà UK law? So wàhálà tó ṣe ń bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ó pọ̀ and kí ló mú mi mẹ́nu bà is that epo wa tó ń jí náà ọ̀nà kan ló gbọ́dọ̀ máa gbà wọlé wọ UK yìí. So tí UK bá wà sovereign tó ń ṣọ́ bọ́dà wọn wọ́n máa lè máa mú àwọn tó ń jí epo wọlé because gbogbo àwọn tó wà nínú gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì kan ló support gbogbo rádaràdà tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí. Àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan tó wà nínú cabinet ló mọ̀ sí gbogbo kìíní tó ń lọ ẹ̀. And òbí tó kọ́kọ́ wá jẹ́ Boris Johnson ní o kó tó fi sí position pé kó náà lọ sí pátì kan tó ń pèsè pọ̀. Distraction mà nìyẹn. Wọ́n fi jí ìbò àwọn tó yẹ kó dìbò fún PDP ṣe bí PDP lòun náà tẹ́lẹ̀. Wọ́n fi dìbò yẹn kù ní because wọ́n fẹ́ fún Àtíkù ní position yẹn fully because wọ́n mọ̀ pé agenda Fúlàní fúnra wọn gan-an ó fẹ́ lè máa bá àti British gan mọ́. So ẹni tó mọ̀ ìbò sì lè gbọ́ràn sáwọn lẹ́nu náà ní Tinubu yìí. So we have a problem on our hand and káwọn èèyàn wa máa gbọ́n sí common law supersedes any statute law. Mo ṣàlàyé tẹ́lẹ̀ there is what is called admiralty law. Admiralty law yẹn òun ni law of the sea nígbà ayé pé wọ́n mú àwọn èèyàn fi ṣẹrú. So admiralty law yẹn lọ́wọ́ change sí statute law tá à ń lò sí ti common house of common tí gbogbo wọn lò. But the God-given law is called common law. Common law is law of the land anywhere you go and common law supersedes statute law. Ní àwọn Supreme Court ní nǹkan kan yẹn gbogbo àwọn yẹn administrator for democracy wọn. And the only people who have authority of law is the people under common law. So any court tẹ́ bá rí tó ṣe ń practice judiciary ló máa ń pè tó máa select àwọn èèyàn pé kọ́ máa
jury
that is the.
ọkọ̀ máa dẹ̀ máa mú yàn at random. Lájọ́ tí mo ti dé lè mo ti lọ fún jury rẹ̀ ṣá at random ló máa mú yàn lórí voters register.
At random
yes at random.
So that is the only law tó matter. So ẹ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn wá tètè kájí sí àṣírí yẹn. The only law tó matter nìyẹn. Ṣẹ́rí law tí wọ́n ń perfect ní House of Parliament kọ̀ọ̀kan yẹn. Admiralty law mà nìyẹn. Law ẹlẹ́rú nìyẹn statute law. Tó bá fà àwọn èèyàn lọ́ máa wá jọ́ọ̀jì kéèsì gbẹ̀yìngbẹ̀yìn. Pé ṣé àwọn fẹ́ kí nǹkan báyìí ṣẹlẹ̀ o? Àfẹ́. So àwọn tẹ́yìn elect sí MP House of Rep House of Senate yẹn àwọn yẹn lọ lò láti fi bá ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ jury tó yẹ kẹ́ jẹ́ jury kẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ in defence of the people àwọn yẹn lọ fi gba yín sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ṣẹ́gẹ̀ so tẹ́yìn bá ti lọ elect ẹnìkan as this is our rep o kìnìkan you are automatically giving that person your power subconsciously láti fi represent yín tó bá dẹ̀ ti fowó ra ẹni yẹn kí ló tún kù anything tẹ́ni yẹn bá sọ òun lẹ́yìn 1 million 10 million òun lẹ sọ nìyẹn. Is that a way of governing? And that is the problem with the so-called democracy. So ní mo ṣe sọ pé a gbúdọ̀ padà sẹ́sẹ̀ àárọ̀ tá bá ti gbalẹ̀ Yorùbá padà ẹnu àṣẹ king has to be the one voicing out bí nǹkan ṣe máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣe bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe ní UK náà nìyẹn. Àbí ṣé kí Rishi Sunak kó tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní di prime minister kí ló máa kọ́kọ́ ṣe tó bá ti elect.
a lọ sọ́dọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ba.
Exactly.
Ọba gbọ́dọ̀ ọ̀ndọ́sẹ̀ pé òun o máa ṣiṣẹ́ fún government o máa ṣiṣẹ́ on behalf of my government.
Thank you. Ọba wa sọ pé mo fún ẹ láṣẹ o láti lọ ṣe gbogbo ohun tí mo bá fẹ́ ni o ò ní lọ ṣe tí wọ́n fẹ́ o má lọ ṣe tó fẹ́ o tó bá ti débẹ̀ tí mo bá fẹ́ ni o tí bá sọ láti Buckingham Palace ni o. Ó máa lọ rọ́bà ń kọ̀rọ̀ ọba àwọn nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe ni àwọn nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe ni ẹjọ́ ṣé kí n lọ ṣe ọba wa ni mo fún ẹ láṣẹ lọ ṣe. So irọ́ tó ń pa ní UK tó gbé ọba is sovereign pé kò ń dá sí policy.
Mo kí ìyá ọba wa Yorùbá ló gẹ́ Bámidélé Moshood.
Irọ́ pátápátá. So ìsìn àwa the people are the power. The people should take back the power. Báwo la ṣe máa take back power wa? Ìsìn we can go out and voice and say we withdraw our power given to this representative. Fẹ́ wọn mọ́ lórí ilẹ̀ wa. So àwọn ọba lèmi sọ pé àwọn ọba la máa kojú sí and àwọn ọba dẹ̀ mọ̀kọ́ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ náà lọ ṣe ń ṣe meeting pẹ̀lú àmì like you said. So àbí kí ló kan bá àti àmì Koiki? Wetin concern ọba àti àmì ṣé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì kọ́ ní ohun àtọ́bájọ ní ìrẹsìpọ̀ ni? Kí ló kan generals pẹ̀lú àwọn ọba? Wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé àti tají àti
àti wake up.
Àti jí gbogbo rọ́tọ̀ fi gba àwọn ẹ̀tọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ wa àti tají sí báyìí. Àdẹ̀bọ̀ wa béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọba wa ẹ̀tọ́ wa kí nídìí tí ẹ ṣe fi àyè gba gbogbo nǹkan burúkú yìí. So àwọn ti mọ̀ pé à ń bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn làwọn ṣe ń tètè wá bó ṣe máa protect ara wọn lẹ̀ báyìí. Ni wọ́n ṣe ń bá army military sọ̀rọ̀ káàkiri. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń darí àwọn military ìlú wa.
Kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ṣẹ́gun ọ̀nà ẹ̀ka sùn sà.
Now British at the same time ìlú tó bá rí pé agbára wọn máa lè gan pé agbára wọn ò ká.
Àjàyí Matthew welcome tó bí wa lóye.
Wọ́n máa lo American military láti fi fèsì ìlú yẹn. Òun ni mo ṣe ń sọ pé gbogbo nǹkan tẹ̀rí tó ń play ló máa connect. Ẹ ṣe ń rí Russia tó ń jà pẹ̀lú Ukraine. Ẹ̀kọ́ ń wò ní ẹrù bí i Ukraine ni Russia ń bá jà. No. Ẹni tó lè gbèjà yín as indigenous people ní Russia. So wọ́n fẹ́ fún Russia mọ́lé. Wọ́n fẹ́ surround Russia pẹ̀lú NATO military.
Mo kí Ọláṣẹ́ níbọ̀ kìíní ẹ̀gbọ́n mi mo kí láti kàná ẹnu la fi mo fi ń pè ìpàdé ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin Yorùbá clubhouse ẹ má bínú sí mi ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ lọ my brother sorry.
So nǹkan ìjà tó ń jà ń sìn lẹ́sẹ̀ rí tí billions jáde láti America tí billions jáde láti UK wọn ti ẹ̀ wá díẹ̀ pépé pa àwọn citizen tí wọ́n mọ́ torí ọmọ ìpè tí Russia bá fi lè win níbẹ̀ yẹn àwọn ò lẹ́nu láti lọ pé àwọn fẹ́ wá sí orí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá láti wá pàṣẹ kan sọmọ pé Russia máa ṣọ́ wọn pàṣọ wọ́n ṣe ṣọ́ wọn pàṣọ Syria. So Russia ló lé UK jáde kúrò Syria àti America agbára wọn kà mọ́. Now kí ni Mali ṣe the same thing ó ní pé ẹni tó lè gbé German ti dé gẹ̀ Mali rọra bá Russia sọ̀rọ̀ kí ni Russia dẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n dẹ̀ yà wọn láwọn military díẹ̀ wọ́n fi lé